It started now.
Oh boy.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, good to see you.
Oh, this is good to get together again. I just want to
Of
have a
course.
discussion
Mhm.
around Envision.
All
And we
right.
were chatting before, and I think part of the idea is that Envision does a lot of interesting things.
Hmm.
Animated assets being one of the unique benefits, cars, people, custom animations, doors that swing open as a
Yeah.
camera approaches. It's a different kind of, I see it as a different use case, whereas Enscape, you just push the start button and you
Hmm.
just see what you've got.
Yeah.
Envision requires post production,
Hmm.
but one of the constraints with Enscape is that if you're, it all has to come through one design file.
Hmm.
You want to see it in Enscape, but you got files in SketchUp and Rhino and something else and Revit. Well, maybe everything has to link into your Revit file, and then you're starting Enscape. Whereas with Envision,
Hmm.
you're exporting each of your design files individually, and then they aggregate into Envision. Okay, so that's nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very large scene sizes,
Hmm.
so master plan sizes. Um, yeah, huge data sets from the original source files, aggregate them together, do post production.
Exactly. And then in addition to modeling programs, like we were talking about, you can go from various websites as well that have FBX files, OBJ files, DAE files too.
So your asset formats, you've got a lot of options for asset formats. Yeah, you kind of have to do unnatural things to get OBJ files into Revit.
Yep.
Um, yeah.
And to
Or,
like
or
manipulate
what
them,
else?
like
Like max
yeah,
files, trying to get a
yeah,
max file into Revit to behave properly.
yep,
That's where
exactly.
Envision shines.
Yeah, or to be able to do anything with it, like yeah,
For what do you mean, like change a material
yeah,
or
materials or like even if you need to like even scaling things, like that's kind of hard to do sometimes too.
okay. Um, so I'm trying to think of an of an injection point of
Mm,
like the other things that I just mentioned about Envision are useful,
mm,
but when you're trying to get your head around a new piece of software, you frequently don't want it to do everything.
right.
You need to find something that's day to day useful that
Mm,
saves time, money, stress.
yeah.
And one of the things that I find stressful in Revit, I don't know
Mm,
about you, I think we've been using Revit for about the same time, is
quite a while.
design options in Revit.
Mm,
If they're really well understood and you kind of carved out a space that doesn't touch anything else, design options for, I think, mostly layouts, like different
hmm.
layout options of geometry,
Yeah,
it can work pretty well.
right.
But if the design has settled down and you go, okay, I like the design, but now I need to do material and lighting studies.
Hmm.
Well, that's messy because
Yep.
if you want material studies for example, for walls, you have to duplicate the wall. Everything inside the wall that's being hosted gets duplicated. And you're like, really? Do I need to be doing this for material studies?
Yeah.
So most people, I think we kind of hit the wall with material and lighting studies
Hmm.
inside of Revit using design options. But that's
Right.
one of the things that Envision is really good at.
Hmm.
And they're not called design options, though. They're called
Variations.
variations. Okay.
Hmm.
So we've got I didn't want to try to open up the universe. We were trying to figure out a file. This is a real world file for me.
Yep.
And one of the other nice things I like about Envision as a starting point for these kind of visual options, materials, lighting, even
Mm,
assets, um, is that you don't have to start with the universe. If you put a section box around your view in Revit and you
mhm.
export that VRScene, that's what you see inside of Envision. So
Exactly.
if you're working with a consultant and you don't want to show them the whole project, you're just like, I just want you to focus on this space. I need some design ideas, some material studies, lighting studies, that sort of thing. You can just put a section box around that part of the project and you haven't exposed them to the entire project. You're helping them focus.
Exactly.
So it's kind of nice. If it's a
Yeah.
big project, I don't want to have to send somebody a big project and have them walking around looking at everything. Just like here, just focus on this area. That's all you get.
Exactly.
So give
Yep.
me an idea. So I put a section box
Hmm.
around this kitchen space in
Yep.
this. cottage and also a little bit of the exterior. And I exported that from Revit as a VRScene. And then I put the file in a Dropbox folder and said, here's the link. So let's say we're working together. We're in a like a real world scenario. You're doing interior fit and finishes. I'm trying to figure out where things go, and I've given you a part of the file. What are you going to see as a starting point? Okay, so you've opened up Envision. What's your next step?
So I will go to File, Import, and I'll navigate to that folder with that scene that you sent me, materials and everything. You'll get
yeah. That's right. Good thought. So I had to send you the material folder so that because you're going to need those as a starting point.
Yep.
And
also, Envision once it exports that VR scene. Here, let me just show you here. Oop.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, you will get this .data file. So this has all the different materials that came with it as well.
So those are materials in the scene. So when I sent you the materials for the project in a folder, I already had these materials. Okay, so you already had some of them.
Yeah. I just wanted to try something out with the Revit file, and that's why I asked for them.
Okay.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is import that VR scene file. So I'll just simply click Open, and what that's going to do is.
Did you just open it? Yep. Like that was it? It was that fast?
Yep.
That's pretty fast. It wasn't like building.
Nope.
Go get a coffee, building. It was like, boop.
Yep, instantaneous right there.
And so what are we looking at? So, I mean, geometrically, this is a portion of this project.
Yep. This is...
And you've got... I added the bit of the deck, so if we're inside that kitchen area, you can, and you're rendering from a view that includes the exterior, you've got some context. But there's also those little blue dots.
Yeah, so these little blue dots are all of your lights that you place inside of your Revit file. Okay.
I know I had some studio lights in the project. That's probably some of those. Oh, and then there's the point lights that are actually in the space. Yeah. I'm in the space right now that you're showing on the computer.
I was going to say,
a lot of deja vu going on.
Yeah. So here, are you sitting about?
Yeah,
that's your TV right behind you.
That's what's behind me. Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Yeah. I was actually looking at this light too, this propeller light.
Yeah, that's that.
That is so cool. Later, I'm going to show you.
It's a good light. I did the best I could to model that swept blend and void out what I didn't need as far as geometry to get that turning blade shape.
Later, we're going to animate this.
So that's where I'm sitting. I'll probably pull up a photo. I've got a photo of this space.
Cool.
Just by itself, the lighting looks very natural. I don't find that the navigation in Vision is nice and smooth like Enscape. It feels a little twitchy.
Little twitchy.
You know what I mean? It's like it's just a
little jumpy.
Yeah, like a first-person shooter game as opposed to like an Enscape. It kind of is very smooth, but that's not a big deal. But I'll probably throw up. I'll throw up a photo of this space compared to that image as a reference. But it's nice and clean already. Perfect. It just looks like it's empty because there's no sense of time, as Ludo called it during our discussion.
Yep.
He's like, you need a sense of time.
But like, this is a really good thing to like point out though. Like, all the materials from Revit came across.
Yeah, you've got a starting point which is consistent with what I was seeing in Enscape.
Yep, exactly. Now it's just when you want to go further with it, you can go do further enhancements or like we talked about, like variations. So we can definitely get into all that as well.
Okay. Now, so one of the things that I would like to be able to do is when I see these variations as different renderings, that they all occur from the same location.
Sure.
So as opposed to having one variation taken from here and another variation taken over here, it's like, let me try to get everything to settle down and then show me the variation from the same location. Okay.
Should we do a shot from like right here? Well,
this is good.
Kitchen backsplash or something. Cool.
Yeah, we got the backsplash. The backsplash and the countertop are the same material.
This is the same material as well.
Yep. All the casework is the same material. I think the same stainless steel. Are you when you start to select things, would you select them by object or by material?
So this is where it got interesting. I looked at the Revit file this is all one Revit family.
Yes, it is, because I built
Yep.
the kitchen as a family component.
Yep.
I
So
have my evil reasons for doing so.
I totally get it. So,
But
but this
inside that family component contains nested families.
got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So this is where still you can use your material picker and you can select the individual materials as well.
Okay, so you're not constrained by something being a
Right.
family containing
Exactly.
subsequent families or nested families.
Yep.
You can still reach through and pick things.
Yep. And to show
Yeah.
you too, here's where we can, select these individual objects too,
Yep.
or
Yep.
even like the chairs out here. Like these are all individual ones that we can also select as well.
Okay, so you can select that's why when you select the kitchen casework and everything,
Yeah.
it grabs it all because it's a family.
Yep.
Don't judge
Exactly.
me.
I would never. I know there's always a method behind the madness.
Oh man, there is.
All right. So what we'll do if we want to see different design options from inside of this view.
Yeah, what if we want change it?
Yeah.
Let's change
Yeah.
the material
So-
of the countertop and the casework.
All right. Yeah. So I just created a new camera here. So we can see here, we get all our different camera properties. We can dive into all that in a bit, but let's start with variations. So under the variations tab, so this
There's
is
a
where
button for variations.
Yep. There's a button
Gotcha.
for variations. There's one for environments. We'll get into same concept for variations, which
Right.
we'll get into, applies for environments as well. So what we'll do is we'll say,
So general is your default default import.
Yep. Yeah, think of that as like, Enscape, how you got the visual settings tab
Mhm.
and the visual presets.
Right.
Yeah, it says custom settings.
Yeah.
Yeah, think of that as like the start. And then anytime you want to make a new
It's your
preset.
start
Yeah.
setting. Yep.
Yep.
So it's your
Yep.
default condition. It's just called general.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So
And
we'll
you
say,
created another one. It could be called whatever you want. Option 1, 2, 3.
yep,
I don't
exactly.
think there's not a limitation
No.
other than at some point in the design process, we got to make a decision. So stop making
Yeah.
variations.
Exactly. So this is option 1. So it locked everything to option 1. We'll make option 2.
You like making the options up front?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
Because then I can start seeing what's happening for each one. So I know option 1 is white, everything as is. Now option 2. Now this is where, let's say, again, we don't have materials on this countertop or the backsplash. So
Right.
we can either go to, like, I saw the article you did about the lights where you go take your own photo.
Using I think I used Chat GPT and a photo of the light to make that material. I could never find one close.
Yep. So you could do it that way. You could go online, find some, or you can also utilize Cosmos, which is, Enscape, how you have the Enscape asset library.
Materials, assets.
Yep.
Yep.
This is where Envision is using the Cosmos library, which is Chaos's material library. So let's say what should we do? A marble countertop?
Yeah, exactly. Something that just shows a different variation. So I guess you got at your top level, there's stone, and then you have multiple options. Yeah, anything in there. I mean, you go with a nice natural material that is, obviously different than the white. I also wrestled. I didn't know that I wanted to do the casework dark. It's kind of an espresso stain.
Okay.
The guy that did the work, who we continue to stay in touch, he was like, "I'm never doing this again," because it was so tedious. I think there's 3 layers of stain around the trim, and then 2 layers of stain on the face of the casework.
Oh,
But
wow.
I was like, you can see the color behind me. I was debating doing kind of just a natural, because it's all maple, but just doing a kind of regular maple color. So
Sweet.
now it now becomes the obsessive part. That's why we got into technology, because it's so subjective from a design standpoint that I go, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, exactly. We could throw in this onyx one just to get some contrast.
Okay,
so we can see.
Could you undo that? So you didn't have to dig down into the material, choose it as some buried subcategory. You drag the material and dropped it on a material, and it finds everything of the same thing.
Correct.
Okay. Sorry. Thanks.
Yep. No, you get it. So when I drag and drop that on there, every material or every object that has that material associated to it will have that.
Okay. Don't like it. Let's choose another one.
You don't. Well, so here's where it gets fun. So I can go and select this material. Now I'll embed that material,
Right.
and so here's an interesting part too. So Revit doesn't do UV mapping, so it's really hard to like map textures out. And again, since this one didn't have a
Yeah.
texture already on it, what I can do is I can utilize what we call triplanar mapping. So triplanar mapping is going to do basically UV mapping for it, and I can set the scale for this. Comes in 1 meter by 1 meter, so I can scale this if I want.
So that
And now
you
we
don't see, or it is
yeah
more pronounced if you want to see
right
that.
yeah see that detail for materials that already have materials, or for objects that already have materials on it. It'll just take that
Now,
size.
would you
That's it.
change the material kind of parameters, or would you just start with a different material typically, or does it just depends?
It just depends.
Okay.
Yep. So then what I could do is I could save this, and then just to show you quick how this variation concept works, I
Right.
could switch back to option one. Goes back to
Okay.
option one, option two, and then I could set another one too if I want.
Let's go the other way. What if we use
Okay.
a darker material on the countertops?
A darker
Yeah.
material on the countertops.
Yep. And then a
Okay.
lighter material on the casework as a variation.
All right. So darker material. Should we use a
Yeah.
marble black? So we'll download that quick. So it's just going to
So it takes
download.
a moment to download, but as soon as it gets it,
Yep.
it just replaces it.
Yep. There we go. So I'll do the same thing. Triplanar mapping. We'll set that to be
Oh, yeah.
2.5. Yeah, we'll do 5.
You're just increasing the size of the underlying material map
Yep.
to either emphasize or de-emphasize that grain that we're seeing.
Exactly. Yep. And then I can hit
Oh,
save.
Josh, this is great. Thanks, man. Okay, let's do the
And then,
same thing to the casework. I
okay.
mean, let's just play with the second variation here for a moment.
Okay.
Like if I had to do this in Revit, you got to basically do it, take an image, right? Save the image, and
Yep.
then go back to what you had. There's no way to save material options or kind of, well, there's no way to save variations inside
hmm
Revit.
And then I'll show you something cool here in a bit too about how you can blend materials together too. So we can get
Okay.
really crazy with it. So you mentioned the Caseworks. Is it wood?
It's a maple, half-inch maple.
Okay.
So if we
Okay.
just kind of get something close, yeah.
Yeah. So wood maple. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. So
So you're just going to drag this, and if you drop it on the material, that's it.
Yeah, and same thing. I'll just select that material. I'll embed it, and then we'll do triplanar mapping. Then we'll just increase the size.
Yeah,
I'll
you don't where you
just
don't want to see the grain or something.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also an option too where I can do randomization, so I can make it seamless. So you're not going to see. So if it's tiling, you're not going to see that. So you can blend between that. Can make this a little bit bigger too. 2 meter by 2 meter.
I really appreciate the immediacy here.
Yeah.
And because there's just sometimes in the design file, I just need all the noise to go away. I don't need to see updates. I mean, particularly in pursuit phase, it's like get it close enough, and then I need things to settle down so I can add people and entourage and planting and materials. And then if I want an update, I'll take it. But
Right.
sometimes you don't need things moving around. If you had to go, if you had to get like, there's some hardware on the casework that's kind of it's kind of an anodized aluminum. It's very dark.
Oh, sure.
But even for something like that, if you're making a change to the material at the micro level, I guess you'd have to zoom in to get to it, or are you facile enough?
Oh yeah, no, you can.
Vision?
Yeah, so you see, you can just hover over it and it'll pull up because it'll recognize a different object. So even on the chair,
Even something small.
Yep, exactly. Even for this kitchen, so or for the mixing bowl too.
Yeah.
But you're able to like hover over that object. So I have it pulled up right here. So if it's a simple metal material, we can see here I can just tone down the roughness and make it a little bit more shiny.
Can you change
now,
the color of it? Say you want to go to something that's more stainless in nature as opposed to.
Yeah, a lighter.
Yeah, that's it.
Something like that. Boom.
Okay.
Or again, I could just drag and drop a material
I don't
onto
even
it.
think we have to do 3 options. It's just like it's like what you're showing in principle is like, okay, you like this. Now, would you typically start with this and then duplicate this to make another variant, or would you go back to the original, the general version to make the variant?
I
What do
think
you?
it depends. I think it
Okay.
depends on what we're doing. Like if we know we want to go with marble, I can definitely duplicate this because we already
You
have a
might
good.
duplicate it and then just change the casework because we're going to go
Yep,
with the darker marble. Got it.
exactly. Yep. So I think it depends on what ultimately you'd like to do with it.
Like this seems so immediate. This is not
Mm-hmm.
heavy lifting. This is, oh, you got your Revit
Yep.
file. Things are kind of sorted out. They've settled
Yep.
down. But if the Revit model had no materials, but things had material assignments, you could still start from a white mode museum board model and then start deciding what
Mm-hmm.
things need to be.
Yeah, or if it
Or
didn't
might
even have, yeah, or if it didn't even have materials in general, like you just throw, like if each individual thing was its own separate object, like the
Well, it
countertop.
doesn't need to be broken down by materials. It'll look at
Nope.
geometry as well. What
Yep.
about one of the things we're chatting about is like, well, what if you do want to replace assets?
Mm-hmm.
So those Revit families, those chairs, which seem so interesting,
Mm-hmm.
like, or sorry, they seem so straightforward geometrically, and
Right.
then you try to build them, and it's like I've got this sweep that's a blend with
Yep.
with deleted pieces, and then oh, now I'm still only close. But if you
Yep.
want to swap out geometry,
Mm-hmm.
that can be done here as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
So unfortunately, since this is all one object, I can't select. It's going to move everything at once.
You mean if you were going, if the way this is built, and that's on
Yes.
me, I I put the chairs inside, I nested them inside the family,
Yep.
and you can't reach down into the family to swap out
Right.
a chair.
Right.
So it's not. I
But
don't think it's a limitation. I think it's just
yeah.
understanding what it is. We'll go back to
Mm,
the those pendant
yeah.
lights are in the project. They're not in. They're not nested in the family. So you could
No.
swap those out with. Are there pendants
Exactly.
in Cosmo?
Yep. So we have some pendant lights in Cosmos. So let's say, so if we go to the asset library here and let's say lighting, so pendant lights, look at that.
Okay.
The Cosmos library, it's got over 6,000 pre-built 3D models that you can choose from. And it's just getting bigger too. So,
Right.
but again, we can utilize any one of these we want. So here, so again, we could stay with option 2 and I can,
Yeah.
let's say we want to remove these. So what's cool is again, I'll select those.
Would you remove
Yeah.
them or would you swap them out? Or is there a difference?
So you have to hide them right now.
Okay,
There
so
will
you're not
be
deleting them from the file because
no,
they might still need to exist in another option. You're just
exactly.
hiding them and then placing new ones.
Yep, exactly. So we're just going to simply hide those, and we can see mother of pearl pendant, and that's the other
So
really
just to
cool
be
thing.
clear, you can't select something and swap it out because if you
Not
want it to
yet.
maintain the same origin,
Yep,
is that
not yet.
okay?
That's coming.
Okay,
So
there you
that's
go.
something new coming with the new update.
No, and from a building stuff standpoint in Revit, anything that I would anticipate that might need to be swapped out as a design study needs to
Right.
be at the top level in the project.
Exactly. And this is also something really cool. Since we brought this in from Revit, it maintained the categories as well, or the proper or the folders, so we can see lighting fixtures. So you have your mother of pearl pendant.
Yep.
So we can go and see all of that. This is something
It
that I
maintains that structure, so things just
yeah
aren't
exactly. Object 1, object 2.
right. They're
Yep.
all object, and there's your file, and then everything that's in it. You can
Yep.
actually there's categories of stuff. Okay, cool.
Exactly. All right. So which pendant lights do you want? Maybe something like this.
Yeah. That's great.
Okay. So simply just click and drag it. It's going to download it, and once it's downloaded, it's on your computer.
Okay,
So we
so
can
it
see it
found
just.
the surface,
Yep.
and these aren't trick questions. I'm really asking you.
Yeah. No, we're doing this all on the fly.
Yeah.
We haven't rehearsed this at all.
No, there's no point because we're going to figure it
Yeah.
out, and I think in a way that's more honest. Like
Yeah.
that just found the surface. Did it know where the surface was, or what was the?
Yep. Because I clicked and dragged it onto that surface.
You were kind of dragging it onto the surface. Okay, so
Yep.
if you wanted to click and drag another one,
Yep. So click and drag again. Just put it right there,
you
and
do
we
it
can
so
see
fast,
where.
it's like magic.
Yep. So wherever I put it on that, wherever I let go, that's where it's going to drop it. And now, obviously, we want them to be in a linear way. or
Yeah, we
we're
want
going
to
over
align
it.
them.
Yeah. So what I could do is, this is where it gets really cool, because object level manipulation, what I can do is I can start moving these.
Can you look
And
at the view orthographically so it's not in perspective?
I could, but there's a roof on it, and we can't do section cuts inside of Envision yet.
Okay, so
Yeah.
inside this view, if you wanted to see it in an orthographic way to align things, that
Hmm.
might be a little tricky.
Yeah. But what I
Okay,
can do is, if I select the objects, I can
right.
align the objects. So I can align them however I need to along the X, Y, and Z axis too.
So can you rotate the view around a little bit just to see how that alignment occurs or how it's presently? Keep going until they're kind of no, the other way. So you're looking at the objects towards a casework.
Hmm. Yeah. So here I could. There we go.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So I can align those, and then
And then
I
you would go
can.
the other way and
Mhm.
align them again. So you can swap out family components in the project for more
Mhm.
detailed ones. Are there
Yeah, so
any
here.
dimensional constraints or is there dimensional feedback if you want these to be 2 feet apart or a specific unit apart?
Yeah, so you could actually set the spacing, I believe, inside of here. So if we want to align those, you can distribute objects. So you can distribute them with equal spacing.
Got it.
So I can distribute it along the, I think it's the y-axis.
Yeah, this is okay. This is great. But I think
Yeah,
swapping them out for things that are already there
yeah,
will be very useful. And then if you go, oh,
exactly,
I think I need 3 pendants. Oh, no, maybe I need 4. Okay, well, then we're going to have to do it a different way because the source file has 3.
exactly. So there we go. So we have, yep. So
So
three
we have 3
objects.
variations right now.
Yep, exactly. And again, this was all on option 2.
Got you.
Yep. So I can go back to my, I
Can
can
we
go back to
increase
my,
the lighting or decrease it on the fly just to get a sense of feedback of
oh,
what's
sure.
happening when you render?
Yeah, so the lighting is determined here. Let's get back to, so I can go back to my camera. So there's my
I'm
view.
starting
And
to wonder if I should have done a lighter color casework.
are you liking this a little bit better now?
You know what? It's got a certain the other casework is it's definitely its own thing.
Gotcha.
Because this cottage is 28 by 33 feet. It's a tiny footprint.
Okay.
And so we use a darker material. The kitchen is actually, it feels very spacious because there's
Mm.
room to do things. Um, and I wanted it to stand out from, I didn't want it to be so monolithic with materials that the kitchen was not visually distinct from that's, if you call that a living room, right? It's like 12 by 18, 20 feet sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
I like this natural color.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
sorry, got off track. Modifying
No.
the light.
Yeah. So we can adjust the exposure as well. We can adjust the time of day to push more light in there.
Okay, so if you want to reduce the daytime but increase you
Yeah.
want to make it more obvious the interior.
Yep. And
Okay.
then what we can do too here, let me switch to perspective mode here. And then we'll get some sun coming in. So with the glass, I'll switch this to Cosmos glass, and then we'll start.
Yeah, you're getting those reflections.
Yeah. And this was another thing too, since this is all one object, if I were to replace the material, it would do it for the whole thing. So we can see now we're getting that sun coming in.
Is the glass replacement happening at the top level for everything, or is it happening inside of a design option?
So this is the thing too. I was on option 2,
Right.
so it's going to stay on option 2. But if I
Okay.
were to do it in the general, it would do it for everything.
Oh, that's okay. So that's a great point. If you want it to
Yep.
affect everything, do it
Yep.
in the general.
Yep. There we go. And we can see here too, on my camera, we have all the different camera properties as well. So here, let me go back to camera, and there, I can even turn on auto exposure again. I can really start dialing in that. But now under the environment tab again, we could play with the sun.
Yeah, it isn't funny. You just want to tweak the lights because the direction and angle of the light informs
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Mm-hmm. Drawing the viewer's eye in too.
Yep.
And again, too, if we have, since we have all those lights inside of here too, we could adjust those lights. Like I know.
Okay, yeah, please do that. And like, let's do that in the generals, in the, I guess, the general variation so that it affects all of them. And there's actually there's another material underneath the casework. It's just a long material assignment to create the effect of of strip lighting there. It's just a LED lighting.
Yeah. So what I can do is it picked up that material and it already has the self-illuminating, so I can adjust that too.
Okay.
So I can bring that up. We can set the color if we need to as well.
So before anyone criticizes the tap having the controls for hot and cold water on the left-hand side, it annoys me when you're trying to fill something with water, but you have to reach under the running water to get to it, like to turn it on. So
that's fair.
Oh no, it makes my family crazy. They're like, "Can we just have the tap on the right-hand side?" I'm like, no. Look, here's your cup. You're right-handed. Here's the tap. Look, this hand's not getting wet.
I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it.
Well, you just gave that strip lighting illumination.
Yep, I just increased the illumination of it.
And then all of those little point lights, have you already modified those as well? Would you just give them self-illumination, or would you actually swap them out as lights?
So that's a good question. What you actually could do is you could select these, and then I can adjust the intensity of them.
So self-illumination is on by default. It's just set to 0.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe inside of Revit in that material, it was set to 0. But
in Revit, self-illumination is not selected by default. So you have to select the material, give it self-illumination, then start to adjust it subjectively until it reads well. Because just having the light source inside of it is not enough. It needs to give that effect that it's passing through the translucent material.
Yeah, because I wonder if it was pulling from the Enscape material editor. Because if you enable self-illuminating inside of Revit, that'll enable it inside the Enscape material editor. So I wonder if inside of there it was set to 0. Maybe that's why it came in.
I don't think I would have used the Enscape material editor for self-illumination.
Okay, so maybe that's why it came in at 0. I can check that. But
so now you have self-illumination applied to it, or no?
Yeah. So this has a self-illuminating material applied to it.
Yep. And what about the pendant?
The pendants, these were the Revit family lights that came with it. So, and I adjusted those. I brought those up to.
So that's got self-illumination as well.
So this has self-illuminating this material too.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this one does too. So here we can adjust that.
It takes a moment to kind of catch up when you're sliding it, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah. And then if need to, as well, there are lighting objects that you can put inside.
If you need that cone, what is it? Cone, disc, and rectangular.
Yep. Rectangle, disc, and sphere. Yep. So you can add those in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, let's go back to our cameras. So let's get that view. Perfect. There we go. And now we can go to the different variations and see, since I did that, the lighting on general, it's going to stay for option 1. Obviously we did it on option 2.
And option 2 has different lights because the default ones have been hidden.
Yes.
So how would you batch render these? I mean, we've been chatting for like 30 minutes. So you're seeing your designers like, here's some material studies, here's a material palette. Can you apply this to this file? And I need to see renderings of all 3 options. I don't know that I would do that in Revit because you'd have to.
How would you do that?
Either create design options, which is going to be tedious, or you're going to have to do it 3 times, undo it. You're going to have to do it, undo it, do it again, undo it, do it again, undo it. And then I guess put it back when something gets selected or some option. But here you've done 3 material studies. We've got the default, right? That's kind of our baseline, but then you've done 2 more studies of materials and geometry. We've changed the lighting. We're not stuck to what the design file has in it, but we want to render from the same location.
Yep. So that's a great question. So with this render setup, what you're going to do is go to select rendering. I'll select my view. And now this is where it gets fun. So I can hit add selected. Now I can set just
So
like
that
inside
one
of that.
view, got you.
You can have the different options as well. So I can go add my other view in there
Add the
too.
same view again, but option 2.
Yep.
Add the same view again, but general.
Exactly. Yep. So this one will stay general. This one will stay option 1. This one will be option 2. And I can hit render, and they'll all render. They'll all batch render. Yep.
Can we do it? I want to see how long it takes.
Well, that's how it. Again, we can make it quick. We can make it photorealistic, depending on how we want to do it.
If I need to email it to someone, I'm thinking it's not going to be bigger than 4K.
Oh, sure. We can stick with 1920 1080. Yeah, 1920 1080. We can set 64 samples. We'll
and just throw them on your desktop or something, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it'll create a new folder inside of there.
1920 1080. That's 2K.
Yeah.
And it's going to render everything that's selected in the panel on the left.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So here we go. So we'll just hit, we'll start rendering.
And when you were selecting those, it said your camera was perspective. The second one was spherical. I'm presuming those are like pano files.
I clicked the drop down for it to show. But yeah, so again, it's already on option 3. So pretty quick to render. There we go. So, so they're all done.
Can we look at them?
Yep. So here we go. We'll go renderings. So here we go. Here's all our renderings. So general. There's general.
Yep.
Option 1.
Option 1. Click option 2.
Yep.
Josh, this is great. What else? I don't want to get any more technical than this. It's stressful when you got to do design studies and you're like, oh, well, I've got this beautiful model here. It would be nice if I could leverage it. Oh, yeah, that's design options. It's like, design options Revit is not material options. It's not lighting options. It's like geometry options. You want to lay out a cafe? Here's one idea. Now let's lay out all of the furniture again. That's another idea. Those are kind of discrete things.
Yeah.
But materials and those kind of dependent relationships, I don't think I've asked about doing this inside of Enscape. It's like, Enscape is not designed to do that. It's better to do that in a tool that's purposely built for these kind of variations.
Exactly. Yep.
I've learned something today. If you have family components that you would like to swap out in Envision, don't nest them into other families. Put them in at the top level in the project. Yeah, if those chairs had been placed in the project, we could have swapped those out with other pieces of furniture. But we were able to illustrate it with them.
Exactly.
Josh, thank you so much. I can think of lots of other stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the value proposition of I don't want to do everything, but I want to be able to do something. Where is this something that will save me a lot of time and stress, as opposed to trying to be Revit pure and doing everything in Revit? It's like, well, sometimes you just want to peel that out, get to a decision, and then go back to Revit and do it once.
Exactly. Just play for a little bit.
Okay.
It allows you a lot more creative freedom inside of here, I think.
All right. You need to get down here and see it in person. I think we'd have a good weekend.
Yeah, same. One of these days.
Yeah, please. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day,
no problem.
Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to see you.